Huh. And now introducers, Andrew Knows Everything proudly presents for the free 500 episode special, Thirtifiverella. It is based on the story of Cinderella with a bit of a twist. Let's tell you the story, shall we? Once upon a time, there was a young adult girl named Thirtifiverella. Thirtifiverella had 10 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters named Tasha, Hilda, Isabella, Ramona, Tanya, Irina, Fiona, Isabella, Verona, and Ella. All of them made fun of 35erella and made her do all the chores. 35er wench, sweep the floors, wash the dishes, do it all, said the ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters all together. One day, the king of Quintriggertellingham's messenger arrives and says, "Hear ye, hear ye! The king of Quintriggertellingham, his royal majesty, is going to throw a ball, and whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Quintriggertoppling." "Can I come?" asks 35erella, but she's not welcome. Her ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters are. "He's going to marry me," said Tasha, the oldest stepsister. But her younger sisters disagree. They even tear 35erella's best party dress. Later, 35erella is so sad, distraught, and upset about not going to the ball and marrying Prince Quintriggertoppling. Suddenly, her fairy godmother arrives and comforts 35erella. There now, my dear 35erella," she said. "I'll fix everything for you." She then waves her magic wand. Because of that, 35erella's chores are all done. But her fairy godmother is not done yet, she said. 35erella, go fetch me a pumpkin and some mice." Luckily, 35erella has 35 pumpkins and 70 mice. 35erella's fairy godmother waves her magic wand again to turn the 35 pumpkins into a handsome coach, the 70 mice into horses, and fixes 35erella's torn dress and makes it bigger and better. 35erella said, "I've never seen such a Quintriggertoppling-tastic gown. And get a load of my glass slippers. Fairy godmother, how can I ever thank you enough?" and climbed into the coach. 35erella's fairy godmother said, "Well, you can't. But have fun, 35erella, my dear, but I would warn you, return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken and everything will change back to the way it was before." And gave her a clock to tell her what time it is. And so, 35erella accepts the warning. Meanwhile, at the ball, the king of Quintriggertellingham says, "Good evening, everyone. Prince Quintriggertoppling was wondering who he should marry. Isn't that right, son?" In which Prince Quintriggertoppling says, "Yes, father." Suddenly, 35erella arrived at the ball, just in time. "He's walking towards me," say Tasha, Hilda, Isabella, Ramona, Tanya, Irina, Fiona, Isabella, Verona, and Ella all together. But Prince Quintriggertoppling is not walking towards any of them. He's walking towards 35erella. He then says, "May I have this dance?" In which 35erella says, "I would be delighted." And So, 35Rella and Prince Quinter determinedly dance happily together. But later, 35Rella checks her clock, and it's almost midnight! So she scurried out of the ball, and she was running so fast that she lost one of her glass slippers. Prince Quinter telling was so really worried that he might never see 35Rella again. The king of Quinter Tellingham comforts him by saying, There now, son. I think we'll be able to find my dear daughter-in-law, 35Rella. And so, the king of Quinter Tellingham and Prince Quinter Tellingham began their journey all around the neighborhood to find 35Rella and brought the glass slipper she lost with them. By the time they arrived, Prince Quinter Tellingham knocked on the door on the house where 35Rella and her 10 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters live, but instead of 35Rella, they find Tasha and Ella. Prince Quinter Tellingham then said, Ladies, my father, the king of Quinter Tellingham, and I have a favor to ask. Can any of you try on this glass slipper? Tasha is first, but her foot is too big. Hilda is next, but her foot is too small. Nonsense! It fits, she said. The rest did the same, but none of their feet are the right size. Suddenly, the king of Quinter Tellingham and the prince Quinter Tellingham noticed 35Rella singing, Your Majesty and Prince Quinter Tellingham, is that you guys? She yelled excitedly. The king of Quinter Tellingham says, My dear daughter-in-law, we found you, and the glass slipper fits. And so, 35Rella, the king of Quinter Tellingham, and Prince Quinter Tellingham live happily ever after. The end. Andrew Stewart's, I hope you enjoyed this story. Andrew does everything. And I've been debating on making the sequels a bit of tradition. So, maybe someday 35Rella 2. 35 Wishes Come True. Something like that. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share on Andrew Does Everything. Buy our merchandise at AndrewDoesEverything.com too. Take care. Bye.